Hello, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of People in the News in North Texas. My guests today are Scott Brown, CEO of Scott Brown Commercial in Denton, Don Manning, CEO of Scott Brown Commercial, and Scott Tarwater, who is the founding partner of Pivot Technology. Thanks for taking the time, guys, for this interview.
Sure.
Let's begin with you, Scott. If you would give our viewers a brief description of the Brown on the Square project proposed for downtown Denton.
You bet. So I'm born and raised in Denton. I'm 58, and we bought this tower a few years ago. Got about 35 investors involved in it, and we decided after Mr. Tarwater beat on us for about a year, we've decided now to do a nice hotel there in downtown Denton. The hotel will have it'll be very similar, I guess, to the Van in Grapevine, maybe a little bit larger. And then y'all have also talked about it being similar to the Drover in Fort Worth.
Correct.
Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And anyway, we're hoping that the city will pass it. I think it'll be a neat deal. Denton's been really good to me, and this is my way of giving back to Denton for many years of being good to me.
All right, and do you want to mention anything about the cost of the project?
They're saying it should cost between 70 and 100 million, which probably means 125 to 150 million.
Well, I got that much on.
70 to 100 is what you're telling me.
You're gonna do the loan?
Yeah, I carry that much around with me all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let me get on to Scott Tarwater.
Sure.
To talk about the shared green space that connects the hotel with an upscale food hall.
You know, the great thing about the design of this project, Bob, is our architectural and design team have laid out a beautiful space for the citizens and community of Denton County to come, walk, and visit this green space, accessible to the public. It's multi-use, multitask. We have concerts. We can have all kinds of public-related activities there that will benefit all of the merchants and all of the area businesses around the square.
And I know something about Pivot Technologies.
Yes,
I think
sir,
I've
you do.
interviewed you in the past about this, and you refer to the development as a green, clean, urban-friendly, non-polluting project retrofit with Pivot Technologies. Do you tell us a little bit about what that means? About the air filtration system, things like that?
Right, Bob. As you well know, each guest room, each bathroom, each meeting facility, and all of the food and beverage outlets and public outlets will have Pivot Technologies utilizing 4 UVC 222 nanometer light fixtures that eradicates 99.9% of all 40 known pathogens in the world, including influenza and SARS. It'll be the first hotel ever in the great state of Texas to incorporate all of this technology, and it will be a game changer for Denton and for the hospitality industry, for Mr. Brown and Mr. Manning.
And that means we don't ever have to wear a mask
No,
inside the hotel?
not unless you're gonna rob it.
Yeah, and as I said, I know something about that. It sounds like a great deal for this as well. Everybody's concerned today about the sanitary conditions and air pollution and stuff like that. Scott, let me turn to you for talking about the parking garage and rooftop bars.
Yeah, and even before we go to that, you know, not only the Pivot Technologies, but we are doing everything we can to make the whole hotel green. I mean, we are even having funding coming in that requires us to have all of our AC be technologically efficient. Everything is going to be energy efficient and really designed to be as green as we can be with the hotel. But you were talking about the parking garage, yeah. So, you know, there's cities, downtown Denton has always had a problem with parking. That every time you talk to any city leader, you talk to anybody that knows anything about downtown Denton, they're like, parking, parking, parking. So what we're doing is, we're taking and doing a 400 car parking garage. Now let me give you a scope of that. If you drive around the square of Denton and all the parking spaces that are in there, that's about 130 spaces. So if you multiply that by 3 or 4, that's what's going to be in that parking garage, and it's going to be free parking to the city. We're going to partner with the city so that that parking is free to the residents. There may be some small charges if you're, you know, if you stay there a long time, but our idea is that we're going to give the city back more parking, and then that's where the green space goes on top of that garage. So we take that garage and take that 4 city blocks and make it into this incredible environment where people can come park, they can have a green space on top, there's the food court, and the food court, think of it, the food hall I should say, is like a lot of restaurants together, a beautiful atmosphere, and then they can also go out into the green space to eat or stay inside or outside. It'll be covered from the Texas heat. So cool.
And your rooftop bar.
And a rooftop bar, exactly. If you think about it, if you go up to the top, there's a wedding venue right now at the top of this, top of the Wells Fargo, and you can see everywhere. Now, if you go up to the top of that bar, you can see all the way to Grapevine, all the way. You can see our TWU campus, our North Texas campus, certainly that courthouse right below us. I mean, it's beautiful to look on that rooftop, and it'll be a great place for people to come.
It sounds like it, yeah, it sounds right. There's something else that I find to be really intriguing is the Speakeasy Basement Lounge. That sounds good to me.
That's going to be Scott's favorite place, Scott's always favorite spot.
It might be mine too.
Well,
yeah.
Bob, it's interesting, we were touring that, there's a huge, unbelievably beautiful vault
Yes.
in the Wells Fargo building, and our architect and designer, Randy Huggins, has laid out an incredible speakeasy there that will have some secret passageway to get into it. When Scott and I were talking about it the other day, and we were touring the building, he said, you know, Scotty, when'd you open your first account at Wells Fargo?
I think I was 9 or 10 or something, but yes, it was the First State Bank building.
And that building
in
right
that
there.
building, I opened my first bank account with my dad.
So there's so much history that Scott and both Don have physically in that building historically, that just walking through the building with them is a history tour.
Well, and you mentioned Randy Huggins, and I met him. He's a
Yeah.
talented guy.
He is very talented.
So that's amazing also to be part of it. So let me just say, the basic structure of the Wells Fargo Tower would remain in place while the inside would undergo the extensive remodeling, correct? All right.
Yeah, we're also going to raise the, so the building's 8 stories and 3 stories, so we'll raise the 3 to 8 stories, and then we'll also build around it. It's going to be 186, I'm sorry, flip the numbers, 186 rooms that'll be there, as well as some conference space as well, so we can have conventions, bringing more and more people to downtown, where they can interact with that great downtown area.
Yeah, it's billed as upper upscale as well, so. Well, let me get into some specifics about it happening. When will the proposal go to the Denton PNC and the City Council?
That's a good question, Bob. We are currently on a schedule to work through the development agreement and present it to the Denton City Development Department and City Manager between now and July. And then we hope to get on the Denton City Council schedule and PMC schedule as soon as possible thereafter.
And if approved, how long do you figure it will take to be completed?
Once we stick a shovel in the ground and Mr. Brown approves everything, it'll be a 24-month build.
Oh, sounds good. Wow,
So
that'll
it'd
go
be
fast too.
open in
Right.
2025.
Yeah, all right, well, we're being grabbed by the clock already. That's how fast this goes. Great information here. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close?
Well, I want to say that this guy right here, Scott and I have been in Denton forever, Denton County forever, but without Scott Tarwater and his team, they've developed hotels all over the country. They've listened to city developers, they've listened to the constituents. We couldn't do it without him. We feel like we have a great team to bring a great project to Denton.
Wow.
and to downtown Denton in particular.
I couldn't agree more. And this sounds like an exciting project. I'm looking forward to it myself. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for being here, and we look forward to this project being brought to fruition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.